Effect of thyroid hormone on sexual functions. The thyroid hormone secretion should be approximately normal for the normal sexual function. In men, the lack of thyroid hormone secretion is likely to cause loss of libido, and a great excess of the hormone sometimes causes impotence. In women, the lack of thyroid hormone often causes menorrhagia, which is excessive menstrual bleeding, and it can cause polymenorrhea, which is frequent menstrual bleeding. It can cause oligomenorrhea, greatly reduced bleeding, and it can also cause amenorrhea, which is the absence of menstrual bleeding. And occasionally, it leads to amenorrhea. It also causes greatly decreased libido in females. The action of thyroid hormone on gonads cannot be pinpointed, but it can be a combination of direct metabolic effects on the gonads, or it can be excitatory and inhibitory feedback effects through the anterior pituitary hormones, which control the sexual functions. Effects on reflexes. Thyroid hormones exert effects on reflexes. The reaction time of stretch reflexes is shortened in hyperthyroidism and prolonged in hypothyroidism. Effect of thyroid hormone on nervous system. The thyroid hormone increases the rapidity of cerebration, but it maintains the normal mental activity is maintained, but the thought processes are dissociated. A hyperthyroid person is likely to be extremely nervous and may have many psychoneurotic tendencies like anxiety, like extreme worry, and all these things like this. And if the thyroid hormone is deficient during fetal life and in early infancy, the growth of cerebral cortex and cerebellar cortex, proliferation of axons, branching of dendrites, synaptogenesis, and myelination, everything is decreased. The irreversible brain damage can result when the deficiency of thyroid hormone is not recognized and treated promptly after birth. Regulation of thyroid hormone secretion. The TSH is the most important stimulant of the thyroid hormone secretion. TSH is also known as thyrotropin, and it is an anterior pituitary hormone. The cells which are present in anterior pituitary that release thyrotropin are the thyrotropes. It's a glycoprotein, and it increases the secretion of both thyroxine and T4 and T3 triiodothyronine. It increases the secretion of both the hormones. TSH acts on each and every step of thyroid hormone synthesis, like it increases proteolysis of thyroglobulin within 30 minutes, it increases the activity of iodide pump, it increases the iodination of tyrosine, it increases size and the secretory activity of the thyroid cells, it increases number of thyroid cells plus a change from cuboidal to columnar cells and much infoldings of the thyroid epithelium into follicles. The last four requires days to weeks to develop. Most of the effect of thyroid stimulating hormone on thyroid cell results from the activation of second messenger cyclic AMP second messenger system. The first event in this activation is the binding of TSH with the specific TSH receptors which are present on the basal membrane surfaces of the thyroid cell. This binding leads to the activation of adenylyl cyclase in the membrane of the thyroid cells, and this increases the formation of cyclic AMP inside the cell. This cyclic AMP acts as a second messenger to activate protein kinase, and which causes this protein kinase causes multiple phosphorylations throughout the cell. The result is both an immediate increase in secretion of the thyroid hormones and the prolonged growth of thyroid glandular tissue itself. This method of control of thyroid cell activity is similar to the function of cyclic AMP as a second messenger in many other target tissues of the body. Now this TSH is from the interior. The secretion of TSH from the interior pituitary is further controlled by the higher center, that is the thyrotropin releasing hormone, which is released from the hypothalamus. It is secreted by nerve endings in the hypothalamus, and it is transported to the interior pituitary by the way of hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system. In the anterior pituitary gland, it acts on the thyrotropes the cells which secrete TSH, and what happens, the thyrotropin releasing hormone activates the 5 phospholipase second messenger system inside the pituitary cells to produce the large amount of phospholipase C. This phospholipase C causes a cascade of other second messengers, including calcium ions and diacylglycerol DAG, which eventually lead to the release of TSH. This figure is from Guyton, and in this figure you can see that the thyrotropin releasing hormone is being released from the hypothalamus through the hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system. It goes into the anterior pituitary, where it leads to the synthesis or secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone. The thyroid stimulating hormone then goes through the blood vessels to the thyroid, where it acts on the thyroid gland cells, and it increases the overall efficiency of the thyroid gland. One of the best known stimuli for increasing the rate of thyrotropin releasing hormone and thus then the TSH secretion is exposure to cold. Excitement and anxiety is another stimulus that results in the acute decrease in secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone, and this effect is perhaps because of the through the effect on CNS. As these states increase the metabolic rate and metabolic rate of the body and body heat, so they exert an inverse effect on the heat control centers. The thyrotropin releasing hormones in the paraventricular nucleus also receive signals from the leptin responsive neurons in the arcuate nucleus of hypothalamus. These neurons regulate the energy balance. Neuropeptide Y and AGRP, a Gauty related protein, and pro-opiomelanocortin POMC neurons, which are discussed in chapter number 72. The prolonged fasting reduces plasma leptin levels, which in turn decreases POMC pro-opiomelanocortin activity and increases NPY-AGRP neuronal activity. The decreased levels of the leptin may also directly inhibit TRH neurons. Together, these effects reduce the expression of TRH, TSH, and thyroid hormone secretion, leading to the reduced metabolic rate and conservation of energy when food supplies are scarce. Now, when the TSH stimulates the secretion of thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland, then the thyroid hormones directly act on the anterior pituitary gland, and through a negative feedback, these hormones decrease the secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone by the anterior pituitary gland. In this figure, you can see that the hypothalamus releases thyrotropin releasing hormone. This hormone acts on anterior pituitary gland on thyrotropes through phospholipase C second messenger system. It results in the secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone from anterior pituitary cells known as thyrotropes. These cells, this TSH then goes to the thyroid gland, and it acts on the thyroid cells through the cyclic AMP second messenger system, and this leads to the formation and secretion of thyroid hormones T3 and T4. These thyroid hormones then directly act on anterior pituitary gland, and through negative feedback, they decrease the secretion of thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary gland. As you can see in this figure, this is a hypothalamus. Whenever there is a fall in thyroid hormone secretion, it promotes the production of thyrotropin TRH, thyrotropin releasing hormone from the thyroid from hypothalamus, and thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary. This stimulates the production and release of the thyroid hormones, and the thyroid hormones in turn through the negative feedback decrease the secretion of these hormones from the higher centers. On the other hand, whenever there is a rise in blood thyroid hormones, it depresses the production of TRH and TSH from the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary gland. This decreases the production and release of thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland cells. Whenever there is decrease in the thyroid hormone, then it causes the secretion of the thyrotropin releasing hormone and TSH from the anterior pituitary cell. This is an example of negative feedback mechanism.